Hello guys! Happy Monday! Let's continue stitching this beautiful floral photo frame with me. If you are new here, I'm stitching this floral embroidery design to make a nice photo frame like this. And you can join my stitching along by getting this pattern on my Patreon page, or you can also purchase it on my Etsy shop. And today I'm gonna be stitching this flower. I already tested colors on this side. I have another flower like this here, and I used only two pink shades. Here is those embroidery threads that I am using right now. This is Encore embroidery floss. I really like this brand. I got a lot of spools when they had clearance on Michaels. I got those spools for 25 cents each, so I got more than 100 spools and just for myself, and I'm using those threads right now. I will show you the colors for DMC if you have only DMC threads. I'm gonna show you now which colors it can be. So here is a color map, and I see that this color 23, it's the same like DMC 151. So this is a light color here. Or you can also use this one. It also looks like this. 963. It's DMC 963. And this color 26 of Encore, it looks similar to DMC 957. So here are the colors for DMC if you want. You can use those threads that you already have in your stash. There is no need to buy new embroidery threads. You just use those threads that look similar, or you can use completely different colors, completely different color of the fabric. So right now I'm using purple fabric. You can use white fabric, and with white fabric you can use brighter colors. You can use brighter pink colors, brighter orange colors, when like I used here. So see what you have and work with what you have. I'll also suggest you to constantly check your fabric, how you tighten your fabric, so it doesn't distort this shape of the space for your photo picture. So just constantly check if it's correct, because fabric, it can be stretched somewhere more, somewhere it can be stretched less, and it can distort this shape during your stitching process. So constantly just check it before you start stitching another day. Okay, and don't tighten your stitches too much. Just tighten it enough so your stitch will lay flat here. So don't tighten it. If you tighten it too much, it can distort the fabric, and it also can distort this place where this flower, for example, right here. Okay, if you have some questions, you can ask in the chat. I constantly look at the chat, and if you have some questions, I will reply right away. Let's zoom in this place where we will be stitching. Okay, So I started with the lightest color and I did outline for all the petals here, you can see. And also I have 3 petals that like laying on the top, and all the rest petals, they are like behind those petals, so I will be stitching them later. Thanks so much. Yeah, it really looks beautiful. I just didn't even expect that it's gonna look so beautiful and juicy. I really like it. I know, Melanie, you want to stitch it so bad, but why do you stitch so many kaleidoscopes? I would already hate this design if I would need to stitch it over and over so many times like you do. Oh my god, you are really crazy. So I never stitch my embroideries second time. I stitch it only once and then I switch to something new that I'm passionate about, you know. and even when I'm stitching something, I can be like I can have another idea of something else, and it's really hard to stay consistent and stitch it until the end, especially when you do video tutorials and some instructions for other stitchers. So yeah, so this how I started doing this. So I suggest you to use this strategy because this way you can make your petals to look like a separate objects. Later, when you will be filling all the rest space with another color, it will help you to add some shades, and you will see now. So I will be stitching with you this petal, and like previous time, I start stitching from the central stitch, so I can make sure that my stitch direction is correct. All the stitches should go from the center to the edge of the petal, and the direction of your stitches will turn to the right a little bit, like when you stitch to this side, depending on the shape of the petal. Usually I stitch and I make my stitches close to my central stitch, and I move to the right side. But you can make random stitches with a space between them, just to make the stitches direction guides, like I did for my previous petal. And then you can fill all the rest space. I can show you now. So this is stitch. See, I put my needle up here in this place, and then I can lay down my thread and put my needle where I see, if I see that it's laying in a correct way. Like this. The same you can do to the left side if you want right away, and then you will be just filling the space between those stitches. And you need to do long and short stitches. Right now I used 3 strands of floss, so I can fill this space quickly. If you like to stitch with 2 or 1 strand of floss, you can do your way, but it will just take a little bit more time to fill. So I just make sure that all the space, especially close to the edge, is all filled with my stitches. And Angelia, she said that she used it to come up outside of the border and come down in the middle. You can do this way too, but for me it's more comfortable to go down on the edge where I did the outline, so when I go from the top I'm not splitting any outline, and I can go precisely like where I need. And I think that my borders this way look really like much better. Then I would come up from the back. When you come up from the back, you can accidentally split your stitches, but if you got used to it and you can go precisely as well, you can go this way. See, just be careful and don't split any stitches. I did outline with the same 3 strands of floss right now. I just wanted to add a little bit more volume for the edges, so the flower looks a little bit like a 3D flower. You can go with 1 strand of floss or 2 strands of floss, depending how flat you would like to make this flower. Love the color of the fabric. Yeah, I love it too. I'm stitching on this kind of color of the fabric for the first time. I was usually stitching on white fabric or black fabric, and I wasn't sure that I will choose the right colors for this fabric, but I really like how it turned out. I tried to choose the muted colors so they look different from the fabric, and so they stand out from all the rest. So I'm finishing. I do the last stitch right here, and I will start with another color. You can go ahead and finish this petal as well, so your entire flower will look will be finished with this color. And I'm switching to this a little bit darker shade, and this is DMC 957. And this time you need to choose less strands of floss. You can go with 2 strands of floss, or you can go even with 1 strand of floss if you want to make the color transition even smoother. Melanie said that she didn't see this color in the shop. You might have some similar color like this. You have a big stash of threads. You don't need to buy more colors, Melanie. You should have it somewhere. You have a lot of threads actually. It's not critical if you didn't use this exact color. There is similar colors like 151, or you can also use I don't know, 605, or any kind of light pink. But just make sure that your second color is is the right one, and it goes well with this lighter color. those two colors just should go with like together well. Oh, the fabric. Yeah, the fabric, yeah, probably you should buy one. I bought a set of 10 squares of Kona cotton on Amazon, and I have a link on my website if you want to go and check. I hope they still have this set of fabric, and there is this color of fabric, but you can find probably some similar fabric and buy more because it's a very nice color. I would love to have more fabric with this color. It's just my favorite color. I would like to have more and make more projects with this color. Yeah. And it's also amazing to have a lot of colors from Kona cotton. They have about 52 colors of fabric in one kit, and I can even imagine how many projects I can do with all this fabric. I will probably go with some applications, you know, for some other projects, and I already have in mind a landscape project with this fabric used as application, you know. I would make like heels. You'll see, maybe in future we will do this kind of project. Are you doing your hair again soon? I dyed my hair with a natural color, and I just want to let my hair to grow because it suffered a lot. I did home dyeing a year ago, and my hair was not in a good condition, so I just let my hair grow, and maybe in future I will dye it completely again to paint it in purple. But I still have some strands, some hair light on my head, so I can use my favorite purple mask from Lime Crime, and I can turn my hair purple anytime I want. Check out your local quilt shop. They have lots of pretty colors. I don't know if we have some quilt shops, but I know that there are a few fabric shops, but you know, fabric here is pretty expensive if you buy like 1 meter of the fabric, like if you want to buy a lot. So right now I don't do any embroidery kits here in Canada, but in future I probably will be looking for some fabric. And yeah, this fabric is for quilters actually. Kona cotton made those squares for quilters, but we can use it because for embroidery, because it's very good for hand embroidery. It's completely cotton fabric. It's not stretching, and it's not like transferred too much, so we can use it for hand embroidery for sure. And if you want maybe some cuts of the fabric, like if you don't want to order, or you can't order from Amazon, you can go find some quilt shop if you have in your country, and there should be a lot of cotton fabric suitable for embroidery. Fabric cupboard in Mountain. Okay, I will check this shop out. And I also found one more shop for cross stitch. and it has a lot of embroidery threads, and so I will go and check it out maybe later, just to know what they have, and maybe in future I will be buying from there. Because Michaels, they did not always have all the materials I may probably need. Maybe this shop has a lot of beads, and you know, I like to experiment a lot. So what I do, I'm mixing those two colors using long and short shading technique. I just do, I hope this time you can see clearly what I do, because last time I used very close colors, and on the camera I'm not sure that you saw everything clearly on the camera. So I come up in the middle right here of this color, I go even closer to the edges, and then you can lay down your thread like this. It's important that your second thread color goes in the same direction as your previous color, so you should follow the shape of your petal right here, and this way you can make this color blending very beautiful and consistent, and it's gonna look like a real petal. So I do long stitches first, and then I make shorter stitches between all of those long stitches, and this way you can make a nice gradient. See, I go between those two threads, two stitches, and I make shorter stitch, and I'm filling with this shorter stitch all the rest space between my threads right here, and this petal will be completed. So you shouldn't have any gaps. If you have some gaps, just fill them all with shorter stitches here. And if you want, you can use even darker pink color to make outline between your petals right here. It's not necessary to outline entire petal, but you can make a darker thread here between the petals, so it will be visually look like a separate object. A little bit complicated maybe to fill those petals which are like cut off close to the photo frame, but try to make those with proper stitches direction as well, so entire flower will look like really nice. I think I will finish this project this week, probably by Friday. And I'm probably gonna go to somewhere to find a nice frame for this. If you have some ideas where I should go to find really cool photo frames, just comment below. because like I'm new here and I don't really know where I can find and what. I think if there will be some glass on the frame, I will not use it because probably I will be shipping this photo frame, or I will be doing one more for my mom because she has a birthday soon in September. It's gonna be a present. So right here, when you completed entire flower, imagine that this petal is completed as well. I will stitch it later. And now you can go ahead and stitch some French knots in the center, or you can use beads like I do. For this flower I will use those silver beads like this. Those just regular beads. I bought random sets of beads on the Dollarama or dollar store, I don't remember for sure, but they were cheap, and I decided to go with this color. If you have some other beads that will go best with your flower, it's just use wherever you have right now. So I'm gonna use it's not embroidery needles, it's beading needles actually, and I use it for sewing beads for my embroideries because they are long and you can put a lot of beads here, and you can also it has a small eye, so you can easily go with any kind of beads, even the smallest beads, with this needle. So I will thread one strand of floss. It's gonna be the same pink color that I used. It can be hard because the eye of this needle is very small. I'm gonna make a little knot, but usually I stitch without knots, especially for this project because I will be framing it on the flat surface. And you can, with this needle, you can also find some beads right from the bottle, from this container right here. You just put the needle down and you thread some beads like this. With another flower I tested it already, so I know that I need 6 beads, so I already have 4, and I got 2 more. No, okay, 1 more. Okay, I have 6 beads. I came up here and I will go down in the same place, or you can go in this direction, like make a circle of beads like this, and this way they will lay down perfectly. You will see now. You can help yourself with your finger so they lay down where you need, and then you go down and start like sewing those beads to the surface with little small stitches. You can go ahead and even sew each individual bead. so they always stay on the same place, so they will not move. I make teeny stitches between those beads. See, they can move if you will not do this. So I suggest to do so. This needle is so sharp, and I really like how it goes between the fabric and all the threads that I made without any sound or something. It goes really easy. So, and in the center, see, I have some space. I will add one more bead. And here we go, we filled all this little space with beads. And if you want, you can add some beads on the petals, like it's, I don't know how it calls, but I tried and I didn't like it. If you want, you can just put some beads here and see if you like it when they are on the petals somewhere. But I think it's enough for this flower, and I like it like it is. I think on the next tutorial tomorrow we will be stitching this bigger flower. Yeah, it looks easy, and it is easy actually. There is nothing complicated. It just maybe the final look can look complicated for you guys, but it's actually not a complicated process. So as you can see, it is doable, anyone can do it. So next time we will be stitching this big flower. I'm gonna use the same colors for this flower, so entire composition will look consistent. Let me zoom out so you can see what we have right now. So this is entire composition. I tried to make like orange flowers here and here, and pink flowers. This is gonna be pink flowers too, but a big one. And this is the horizontal version of this frame, and I have vertical also vertical pattern for this one, where this big flower on the top and all the rest flowers, smaller flowers around. It all included in my PDF pattern. You can find it on my Etsy shop, and you can also join me on Patreon and get this pattern there. When you join me on Patreon, you also will get access to my sampler guidebook project. It's 12 samplers which I'm stitching right now with my patrons, and you will get access to 50 plus PDF patterns. So I would suggest you to join me on Patreon. It's only $10 per month, and you can support me as an artist and vote for the next project and ask me questions, anything. I will help you to achieve this level of embroidery skills, and I will be happy if you will support me. So see you tomorrow. We will be stitching this flower, and join me in this stitch along. I will be very happy to stitch it with you. I will go live tomorrow the same time, so see you on Instagram tomorrow, and I will also save this live and upload it to YouTube. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the videos from this stitching along will be available on my YouTube channel for all the time, and you can watch a lot more video tutorials there. I have more than 100 video tutorials you can watch, so subscribe and see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. Bye guys.